And what it is this morning, it is Rolling Out AM with Romeo International, Miss Barry and Portia Monique. Good morning to you.
Morning, y'all.
Good morning.
The sun is shining, nice and bright. The birds are chirping, and I'm ready to fly. Time to get ready for another day. No one can stop us. We gon' learn to play. Every day we learn and play. We do our best, so we'll be great. You do your best, and I do mine. So let's get ready, 'cause it's about that time. Good morning, you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, time to be great. Good morning, good morning, your best to play. Good morning, sun start to day. Good morning, open your eyes. Good morning, reach for the sky. Good morning to you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning to you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning. You see me on my grind. Stars got to shine. I'm a supernova. Yeah, you see me taking over. Yeah, I'm on the move. I got a way to ride to it. So let me hear you say, every day we gonna learn and play.
Learn and play every day. Yes, it is that time. It's Rolling Out AM, you see. It's time for everybody to choose what you're going to be. Be your best, be the rest. It's right here, Rolling Out AM. We're going to pass this test. What's up, Portia Monique, Romeo International, and, of course, Tia Barry.
Good morning. Okay, it's Lakers. We already on that. Romeo.
Oh, this let me tell you something. This house. See, people thought I'm not no Fairweather fan. I'm not no bandwagon. This has been Laker house for the longest. This is actually one of the dopest things my mom and my dad ever got me. My own Laker throw. This is a Laker house.
That's all.
You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. We are champions. We are we? Because I was playing too. T.I. I was.
Last night.
Yeah, well, I was on the sideline, like in the back, in the corner. that was me.
He was in a virtual party.
There you go.
Your face in the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I saw your face in the bubble, man.
Hey, let me tell you,
you're one of the virtual fans.
Hey, let me tell you how hard it is to get in that bubble. When they open up that door, Portia, they say, "Hey, we're gonna allow it's free. The first 300 people can get in." Do you know how difficult it is to get in that bubble? I tried though. Every game, every playoff game, I was ready to click myself in. But nah, it was a great experience. I know we're gonna talk about that later. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
Good Monday.
Talk about Lovecraft too.
Oh, I love Lovecraft.
I still gotta catch up, y'all.
I'm going.
Oh my gosh.
About late. We're not here to hear about late.
I'm just saying.
You know,
let me tell you something.
I'm telling you, she was giving you a report early, so y'all ain't got to talk about the wedding of the decade because they did all that on the show that's supposed to be dedicated to movies. But obviously, they.
No, you're not talking about my show. Hold on.
All I saw was the pictures of the wedding. I just couldn't hear about no Lovecraft, Romeo. I'm wondering, like, is this about movies or reality TV? I'm like, and then it went to fashion, you know, but they never got to
because somebody told me that we needed.
They never got to a makeup. You know,
we did get to makeup. We went to fashion. We went to makeup first. We were doing makeup.
They said, Romeo. It's never talked about the people who beat her face. Could have had them on.
We didn't have them on last night, but we will have some.
And then they hated on the dress.
Nobody hated on that dress.
Yeah, they hated on.
It was the set. It was
I thought it was okay.
Dress. It was the reception dress. See, even Tiara said she thought it was okay. It was the reception dress that was real matronly. I didn't get it.
Matronly. Okay.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about bridesmaids wearing white. Maybe I'm just real old school like that. I don't know.
I don't necessarily
You just-
care what color they wear. Actually, I don't care what color they
Mhm.
wear to my wedding. It's up to them.
Mhm.
But I thought they all looked nice. The bridesmaids. It was just that reception dress.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, cause she too sexy for that.
Mhm.
I don't care whose designer name was on it. It was just real
Right.
matronly.
I'm a dude. I don't know nothing between wedding dress, yeah, reception dress. Hey,
That's a new thing. Some brides change like 2, 3, even 4 times over. I mean, I think that's doing a lot. I think 2 changes is more than enough.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't want to change more than 2 times. You got to keep hair intact. You got to keep makeup,
Right.
touch ups. It's a whole process.
No, you should
Mhm.
change more than 2 times, Tara.
How
How
many
many
for
times should you
what?
change?
Probably at least 3. I mean, you know.
Mm-mm.
What are the looks?
Well, when you do your dance, you should definitely have a different look when you get ready to do it. Get the whole party
Mhm.
started. You should definitely come with a fresh look. You know, once you've
Mhm.
done
Is
it,
that the reception look or no?
Yeah.
I think it's part of the reception look. I think you should definitely have a little outfit, but you should definitely change a couple times, especially given the number and heavy pictures that you get ready
Mhm.
to do. And that don't mean buy new clothes. That just means come out with some sharp stuff.
Something.
Have
Yeah.
have you some different pictures, because what happens is it becomes boring when you got
Mm.
all the images with the same people and you really have been in that dress for like 8 hours.
Right.
You know, and
and shout out,
Well,
you really can't run around in a dress like that.
no.
Mm-mm.
That's why they do the reception dress. But she couldn't run around in that reception dress either. That it was
She
real.
couldn't. It was really.
well,
Yeah.
first of all, shout out to Mike because he was dressed up too. Okay, do you know how difficult
Mhm.
it is
He
for
was
us men
clean.
He
to
was
put on?
clean, but I was a little angry at the photographer.
Not
'Cause
angry.
yeah, I could. That was disappointed because even some of had the brother turn sideways,
Mhm.
and it made him look huge. Like it
Oh,
just it didn't like he was
I didn't
overweight.
notice.
Yeah. So then you got to watch your looks because he's a TV personality, a
Yeah.
celebrity, author. I mean, come on, man.
Mhm.
So it gave him the wrong look.
We covering my topic. Wait a minute. Let's say
bring
that
him
one.
up. Bring him up. Let's see.
Let's
Yeah.
pull it up. Let's
Go to
start with
your
that
report,
one.
Miss Berry.
Yeah, let's start with that one.
With
Get a
that one.
picture up of Miss Cynthia.
Understand why I
See,
can't get no
good
coffee.
morning on this Monday while we getting y'all ready.
Look at them. So yeah,
Clean.
that's the infamous dress that we're talking about. It was a great wedding. It was over 250 guests. A lot of people thought that was too many guests for COVID. But they did say that they kept everybody social distance. A lot of people wore their masks. There was sanitation stations all over. And she had some of the other housewives of the show and friends of the show at the wedding and in the wedding. I know Eva was in the wedding. I think Portia was in the wedding. So
Now, is that question as a man? So, which dress is that?
That's a wedding dress.
It's the wedding. Okay, gotcha. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Just checking.
She made it a little different. I like the look. I mean, I just think that the bridesmaids wearing white, that's not my thing.
Do we have a picture of the bridesmaids?
Can we get a picture? Do we have one?
Yeah, I couldn't find the damn
might not.
coffee pot this
Trying to
morning.
figure out why she didn't call you, Portia, to be in the wedding.
She got me mixed up with the other Portia.
With the other one, yeah. You know that happens because y'all spell it the same.
Definitely should have had somebody from the morning show. One of y'all should have been.
Yeah, we should have been there.
Yeah.
Should have covered it.
One of the main.
But I
One of the main.
The 250 people, no, not even.
That's a lot of people for COVID.
Yeah, and a lot of weddings are reporting positives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weddings are hubs for COVID.
They're super.
Because nobody's wearing their mask at the wedding. They might wear it there and take the temperature, but after that, everybody's dancing and laughing and drinking and eating and all on top of each other.
Mm.
I'm always gonna be Team Cynthia. She was on. Not only was she on Rolling Out cover, she was actually honored at one of our women's events.
Female Success Factor. She definitely was one of the keynote speakers. So yeah, I think we're all Team Cynthia. I just think that for everybody, you just gotta pick your risk factors.
Yeah. I forgot what I was.
Clearly, the club got more than 250 people, and plenty of people making it to the club.
Club ain't close. That's club is not close.
So we couldn't get a picture of the bridesmaids, but I'm sure, it's out there on Instagram. So you could definitely hashtag it. But I'm going to move on to the next story for the sake of time. So what we got next?
What you got next?
What we got next? Okay, so this was a big story over the weekend. Yesterday was Cardi B's birthday. In honor of her birthday, Offset said that the gift was from Culture, but she got gifted a brand new Rolls Royce truck from Offset and Culture, and they were out celebrating her birthday. It was a lot of Instagram stories of them together partying and her dancing with him, and a lot of rumors that they're back together, that they never broke up in the first place. So happy birthday, Cardi B. But at the same time, is there going to be a divorce? Is there not going to be a divorce? Are they together? Are they not together? I don't know.
I know. Socially, it was trending because a lot of women, and I mean a lot of women were going in on her because of the, I don't know their relationship, but quote unquote toxic relationship that they have been presenting. He quote unquote, he does something wrong, she takes him back. He does something wrong, he takes him back. And the message that it sends across to women, and I think this is a dangerous thing. When you have a woman who preaches, stands for, is very stern on, I'm a strong woman, I'm proud, rah type stuff, and then falters at that publicly, your female fan base start to lose the empowerment part. You see it with the same thing. For example, even in a Beyonce type light, right? Women look at Beyonce like Michelle Obama. But I guarantee you, if Beyonce had those type of ups and downs and stuff like that,
I guarantee you she does. However, doesn't let her play out on a public platform. And here's the other thing about Cardi B. So what? Like, what else is people going through in their relationship that they need to focus on her relationship and her get back with her husband? She's getting back with her husband. She's reconciling with her husband. So whoever got something to say, like, go on and mind your business and go get cheated on. And not get a Rolls Royce for your damn birthday.
Yeah, I agree with you, Portia. I feel like with Cardi B and Offset, I think who are they gonna move on to if they were to get a divorce?
I mean, nobody. Let me tell you something. First, I
think that was the same thing with Beyonce and Jay-Z. Like, who do you go to after that? So I think they're not going to get a divorce anytime soon.
Once a female, it's different for dudes. Once a female gets used to a certain lifestyle, oh brother, if you're not matching that lifestyle, you might as well just tap out, call it quits. So you're absolutely right.
Right, exactly. So I'm rooting for them.
I mean, you go through things in relationships, and they just happen to be playing theirs out on a public platform.
Right.
So the public has made them rich. So at the end of the day, that's where it's at. It's all about a conversation. If they keep you having a conversation and keep you buying all the designer wear, then it's time to reset on even the conversation of keeping up with people's personal
celebrities.
It just seems like a bunch of trolling, and is that going to increase the amount of houses that we buy this year? Are we going to have increased savings, or is the wealth gap going to continue because we just had this asinine idea of what's important for our community? Like, you can't turn up and party in your mind all the time and still have a wealth gap, still not buy real estate. I mean, it's really a preoccupation that siphons our ability to read and put knowledge in that'll make us happen. There's really still a movement going on. So sounds interesting, but I'm not so sure it's literally enough time in the day for me to really comment on where Offset and Cardi B are in culture. We wish them well.
But to be fair, Tiara, I will say that what I didn't like on that end, you can't attack the people who support you, right?
Exactly.
I read.
Well, they got mad at the comments that people were making, but again, you put it out there, you displayed it, you put it out there, you addressed it, you announced it,
Right. You can't do that. You can't get mad after you say, no, you can't do that.
Actually, she can, and she did. And if people gonna stop supporting her, then they're gonna stop supporting her. It is what it is.
Right.
She living her best life. She's not asking nobody for permission for nothing. She's doing what she wants to do. She's writing her own rules. Like, kudos. So what?
Speaking of marriages and controversy over marriages, my next story has to do with Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. So Jeannie Mai made a statement on her show saying that she doesn't mind being submissive in her marriage, and she's actually looking forward to being a submissive wife in her marriage. And she got a lot of backlash from women, actually, the whole feminist movement and my views, particularly about being submissive to your husband, is very 21st century, I guess. And a lot of people had a lot to say about Jeannie Mai wanting her man to lead in the household and saying that she shouldn't be so willing to give up her power. So what do you guys think about that?
We better ask your social Facebook, YouTube, Instagram about should you be submissive and what does that really mean in a relationship? Right. Come on, Shirley. Come on, Iris, Baker, D. Shields. What does that mean today?
Now, hold up. Should a man lead a household? Yes. Yes. I'm going to say yes.
Historically, women have been proven to be the better leaders. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree.
Don't ask me to back it up. Don't ask me for statistics. In fact, it's just been proven statistically. But whatever. Look, listen.
She says that she's such a powerhouse in her work and in her business and in her professional life that she wants to be able to kind of take that off when she gets home.
So hold on. What do y'all?
I think it's real funny to Portia, but the 400 years of attack to a black man truly have not given any ability for the black man to even show his greatness. And the more we divide our unit up, the more people choose to have the culture that they want, we continue to lose community. The more we keep going on, I think there's a real challenge in the black community versus what we identify with this culture, because we're now buying into culture that's not even ours. Materialism, we can't win and we don't need it.
Like, because I'm curious about this. If this is the topic conversation question of the day, I'm very curious. Like, because I hear women say all the time, I'm not submitting to no man. What is submitting? What is submitting to you guys? I'm not talking about to women. I'm talking about to the two of you right here. What is submitting?
I know Tife got, come on now. I got real solid there, Romeo. You had real answer.
Crazy, y'all.
Right. Right.
I'll let Portia go first.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Because before y'all begin, and mustn't tell me if I'm wrong. Before y'all begin, the way real men are raised to, hey, these things, if this is the house, these are the things that you need to take care of the house. You need to make sure that if you're the man inside of a house, you need to make sure that there's a roof. You need to make sure that things are taken care of, that things are, not saying that women can't, but things that are fixed. You need to make sure that there's a security around your home if you're the man in the house. So what is submitting?
I think, in the black community, a lot of black women over the years have become this super woman figure. I'm getting to it. So I'm used to seeing strong Black women in my family. So, you know, I come from a kind of like a single parent household. So I'm used to seeing strong Black women take leadership role and not necessarily need a man to take care of the things. I remember taking the trash out. I remember doing certain things that normally men would do. So I think that now a lot of women are being successful. They have their own careers, they have their own money, they have their own things going on. So trying to take that away from a woman and telling her to submit and go back to a 18th century housewife, that's just something that women aren't trained to do no more. And when I think of submission, I think of stay home, have babies, and relax.
Come on now.
I honestly don't know what submission is. I haven't seen it in my life. And I'm just being honest. I have not seen it in my lifetime. And I didn't necessarily think it was funny, Munson, but my experience has been that women, particularly Black women, because those are the ones that I've seen growing up, we run the household. And whether that's behind closed doors, whether it's out in the open, we just do. That's what I've seen. So that's my experience. So I have no idea what submission is. I have no idea what it means.
I mean, yeah, my mom runs the household, but she takes guidance, as my father would say, hey, this is the way we're gonna go. So Tiara, you're telling me your perception of submission is in the 1700s, where that's way been gone. And Portia, you telling me you don't know. So technically,
I don't know. And I grew up in a 2-parent household. I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see stereotypical submission type of relationship where the man told the woman what to do and the woman listened. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be characterized, because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen where the woman told the man what to do and he did it either. So I don't know.
Probably, Portia, why don't you bring on a couple of sociologists to have that discussion? I know we brought some on for Health IQ, but there's nothing wrong with even bringing family counseling so we can kind of talk about what are new dynamics in this era, so that we can really have a true and honest discussion about what submissiveness is, if even as a concept.
Right.
You know, the funny part is y'all the same women who won't. You know what's Munson? This is funny. These two right here, the same women.
Here we go.
The same two women who won't get down on one knee, but apparently they can tell a man what to do in the house. But come on now, y'all can't propose.
It's not just trying to tell nobody what to do. Hold on.
Hit a nerve. Hit a nerve, Rondell.
It's not just telling a man what to do. Listen,
frowning.
hold on. Let's be very clear, because it's not just telling the man what to do. It's telling
and
everybody
very clear. I mean, that finger like a wish.
It's telling everybody in the house what to do, because
we
run the house. I'm just saying. Let's be clear. Everybody, not every air.
Bro, that's it. That address over there. That's it. That is that address.
Yes, we in this house, we tell everybody what to do.
That is that address. And we just need some psychologists to talk about the 400 years of impact and how that affects our community and how it's affecting us moving forward. Because there are lots of what I consider cultural contradictions happening in the name of culture and not community.
Yeah,
like we're not certain we want, because the conservatives have jumped on the family bandwagon. Everybody wants to redefine what the family model looks like, and it's shaping the community in various ways.
Jody Peterson from Facebook says, remember to tone and manner how you're told to do something for an outcome. A family unit is the same a woman is doing for a man. He submits. Why wouldn't a woman submit to the man? Also, Kathleen Collins says both should submit in a relationship. And she also says, Janae, she's Asian, so technically that's her culture.
Jeannie Mai, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm just asking.
It's a partnership. Like, I
think
like
you can be equally submissive. I think that there's a negative connotation surrounding the word submission too. It might not always be a bad thing to submit, I guess.
Yeah, let me tell you something. These two women right here on this screen, First of all, I already know y'all strong. Portia damn sure run her relationship. I know for a fact.
My relationship.
With your tone, and you coming from Spelman, you run yours.
Yeah, we
too.
don't
So
play that. We don't even need men.
Ooh.
I mean, I went to college without them technically, so but anyway, let's get into some birthdays.
Oh, wait a minute. Y'all trying to do birthdays? Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
You ready for some birthdays?
We ready.
Ashley, you stupid. Good morning, everybody. She said, no. Who?
All right. So again, happy birthday to Cardi B, who is 28 this year?
Yeah.
And then we also have Erica Dixon, who is a former Love and Hip Hop castmate, and then one of my favorites on Instagram, Pretty V. I think Pretty V is hilarious. So happy birthday to all three of them ladies. Cardi B's birthday was yesterday, but the other two are today. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We got balloons, yeah. The cake is on the way. We got the music playing, cause it's your holiday. Woo! We invited family, and everybody came. I strike a pose for me like you in a picture frame. You got your finest clothes on, and $1 million smile. So we gon' celebrate you for a while. And don't forget we got the candles when you away. Don't forget we got the candles. Happy birthday, gonna celebrate you for a while. Candles, blowing you away. Wait. Candles. Happy birthday, happy girl.
Wave your hands, something. Another year. So
Hey, how's our Christmas song coming along?
Girl,
What we've been doing this weekend? We've been in the
we
studio.
Working, we got some beats. So I was previewing some beats. So we working on it.
Shout out to Iris Baker. What up, Iris? I'm glad to see you, man. Good morning. Connie Cross. Who
Iris said, she said after that comment, yes, move to birthdays, Tiara.
I'm over, man. Who needs them? Okay, let's go on to our Black History fact of the day. Because, every day is Black History Month in my book. Every month is that for me. So, this year in Black History, USS Kitty Hawk was a naval ship that had a riot back in 1972. So it was a lot of racial tension that was going on in America at the time, while a lot of different soldiers and people in our military were fighting out in Vietnam. A fight broke out against the white sailors versus the black sailors on the ship. And out of the 60 sailors that got injured during the fighting and were a part of the riot, all 26 Black men were charged with assault and rioting and were ordered to appear before a court-martial in San Diego. And I don't believe any of the white men got charged. So, just thinking about the different things and still that we're going through in our nation as a people and all the things that Black people have given to our country and the sacrifices that we made to make sure that we remain safe, on land and around the world. And just remembering those soldiers who fought for us, both against our country against our country and with our country.
So you said 2020.
That was back in 1972, but in 2020, we're still,
Right. It's still the same fight. It's you know what though, when I hear stories about it, first of all, thank you for that, because that's amazing. It truly amazes me to hear stories of men, and it's the same now. Like,
right.
Like the similarities be like maybe 2 seconds off, but it's just amazing to me. Man, the things we fought for and won, and shout out to all my ancestors. You know what?
Yeah,
shout out to all my ancestors.
Shout out to ancestors.
Shout out to ancestors.
So yeah, so just remembering those soldiers and thank you to everybody out there now who still continue to serve our country, even though this country might not always be serving us.
Well, that's true. Well,
Are you ready to vote, TR?
I'm ready to vote. I'm excited to vote.
Right.
It'll be my second time voting in a presidential election, so I'm excited.
I know, Jody. Same ish, different day.
Exactly.
Vote. Okay.
And you know what? It's funny that you brought that up. I made the comment this weekend that kind of blew up on Twitter. I saw another. There was a protest for Black Lives Matter, and there was another alt-right Trump supporting group out there, and they attacked the man who was protesting, supporting Black Lives Matter. Women, white, black, whatever. They surrounded the man. They surrounded the man to protect him from the other guys, but it still went left. And I'm telling people throughout this whole thing, especially with voting coming up, me and you, even though I'm in another country, we Atlanta, and Portia Detroit. I don't know what city y'all live in. Y'all gotta stop letting people walk up on y'all. I don't know.
Yeah. You don't play that out here.
Nah, ain't nobody walking up on us in Atlanta and Detroit. So I'm gonna need y'all to be aware of y'all surroundings, because that ain't happening, Captain, over here. And that kind of and that statement kind of blew up like, well, you don't know what was going on. You're right, I do, but I do know that if you walk up in arm's length of me, you gonna catch hands quick.
Period.
Well, as long as you don't hit first on me, because if you hit, why am I echoing? Well, if you hit first, that could be deemed assault and battery.
They're gonna try to deem it assault anyway, regardless if he's
if somebody hits you first or they attempt to hit you first, then it's called defense. But if you hit first, it's definitely assault and battery, and depending on whatever, you might end up going to jail. Not getting fined because they don't know your social security number because you're in a different state. I'm just saying. Go ahead. What'd you say?
No, tell me if I'm wrong. Every single video we've seen people, they're holding their hands out, trying to create space. They move out the way, people move with them. They move out the way again, people move with them. You're not. Look.
As long as you right now, you got a good chance of not being charged and going to jail. But if you hitting first, boom.
Every great leader went to jail anyway. Every great leader has gone to jail. You think about Yandy and even Portia and from Housewives. Not you, girl. Not you, girl.
Leaders, but I'm just
in terms of those who are advocating for us on the main lines, I would have never thought that they would have went to jail, but it's so easy to kind of get caught up out there and have them arrest you for peacefully protesting.
Right.
Yeah.
TR is on fire. I see that spell coming out of the TR for real.
I'm ready to get out there. Let's vote. That's all I gotta say.
I told you once. I can hear TR saying this. I told you once. Now you walk up here again. I guess I'll be in Atlanta police
jail. I'm
jail.
ready for my mugshot, I guess. And I'll be the main one in the back of somebody's car crying.
Oh, man. Shout out to you this morning, man. We still want to know the answer to that question, man. In 2020, is there such thing as a submissive relationship, male or female? Jody Wise
partnerships.
Yeah.
Jody Peterson says she started her watch party. Guys have.
I started mine too.
Me too.
Here we.
Okay. Are we moving on to my report? What are we doing?
We is ready to go on. I am
ready.
I am done.
So first up, y'all. So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has hit and surpassed another milestone. 200 million Instagram followers. It makes him the
That's
most
a big
followed
deal.
man, American man, on social media. Well, actually on Instagram. But what y'all think about that?
I think he has probably one of the biggest voices in Hollywood. I think he has the biggest voice in Hollywood. Like,
I think so.
I know people were trying to get him to run for president. I know people are trying to get him to. I'll say this. When he made the statement 2 weeks ago
About Biden and Harris.
I guarantee you, out of them 200 million, at least 100 was like, yeah, that's what we're gonna do too. So
yeah,
I think he's the biggest.
Yeah, well, congratulations to him. He is officially the most followed man in America on Instagram. So
I think that's dope.
Eager to see what he brings about with that.
I wouldn't have expected him because I think he's big, but I think we just know him as The Rock. He's not as, I guess, special to me and my friends, but he does have a cult following, obviously.
He actually has a show that's coming out about his upbringing. I'm gonna see if I could scan my.
He has a really good story. He's really motivational too.
Yeah.
You talking about somebody who's from zero? So, like, he has a really great story. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, he does have a great story.
Yeah, so he's Samoan and black. His dad was black, and growing up in San Francisco, like our best friends was Samoan. Does that sound a little racist? But for real, no, Samoans were like black people. Like we didn't necessarily see color. For real, I do sound racist, don't I sound like one of my little white counterparts. No, but for real,
I had Samoan friends. I had black friends.
No, but for real, no, they were like our best friends, and we didn't necessarily see them as being Samoan. It was just a plethora of nationalities in San Francisco, so people were just people. We weren't racist when we were kids. It was, oh, that's Latia, or and then they would teach us their language and all of that. Anyway,
yeah, there's a lot of culture. Let's say it was culturally.
It's a melting pot
mix. Yes.
Hey, Portia, you just hit something. As you just said that you don't see race. Do you remember when the first time you saw color? When it registered, that person is white or that person.
Let me tell you, no, I don't remember the first time that I saw color, but I will tell you the first time that I remember not seeing color. So we moved to Detroit when I attended high school. So we moved to Detroit for high school. And when I got to Detroit, I recognized that it was strictly black and white. I went to Cass Tech, so that's one of the prestigious public schools here in Detroit. And I was looking for the variety of and it was strictly black and white. It was predominantly black, but it was strictly black and white.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid growing up, my dad, who is a former basketball player, a lot of times when we would go out, they would always ask him, like, did you play basketball? If they didn't already know him as an athlete. And he would sometimes lie and say, no, I didn't play basketball. But it was because of his figure and his frame of being 6'8" and being the stereotypical, he plays basketball. That's his thing. But that's when I first remember, I guess, racial profiling in a sense. Which was, I didn't really understand as a kid. But now growing up, it's kind of like, dang, if you look a certain way, then that's just what you're meant to be in life.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what was you gonna say, Romeo? You said I hit on something. What was you about to say?
No, because you had hit on the point of the Samoan friend, and you said you didn't think of what you said was I didn't think of him as such, and it amazes me how we are today, how everything is colored today. But I think to me, up until 6th, 7th grade, I thought it. I didn't recognize black, white, Mexican. You know what I'm saying? But soon as you kind of sort of hit that 8th grade, 9th grade thing, it's like, hey man, and you go to lunch, all the black people over there, all the white people over there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a big thing.
And I think now with social media and all the stuff that's going on that kids are seeing, I think kids now know as young as 6 and 7 years old what it means to be Black in America. And a lot of parents are starting to have those conversations with their kids younger and younger, just about going out in the world and how to act, out there.
You should ask Portia that question.
What's that? I missed it. I was reading producer Ashley's story. What happened?
When did you ever have a color conversation?
Like a conversation
with your sons? Did you ever have a color conversation?
I mean, in terms of, Black Lives Matter and you're a Black man or a Black male, other than that, no. Like, I've never had to sit down and say, y'all Black. My kids have always attended predominantly Black schools, so to speak, elementary. They were in like an integrated pre-K or whatever it was, child care center. But from as far as they can really truly remember, they've always been in predominantly Black schools.
Okay.
Yeah. But no fun fact about me, okay? So before we moved to Detroit, So before we moved to Detroit, I had a Samoan boyfriend, y'all. I thought he was so cute.
Did he look like The Rock?
He looked a little bit, they had a head full of hair, so I don't remember ever seeing The Rock without his hair. I mean, with hair. I don't ever remember seeing The Rock with hair. But he had really curly hair. He was my little boyfriend. He had a twin. Half the time I couldn't tell them apart. And yeah, that's my little boyfriend.
And you were accepted? Or what? Hold up. Was he considered Black?
No. So I don't know. So that's a good question, right? But he was my boyfriend. I was his girlfriend, but I don't know if he could take me home. You know what I mean?
So you never met the family,
right? No. This was middle school. It was clearly innocent, but But I mean, looking back on the hindsight, I don't know if I could have went home.
So I just got news from our producer that the appropriate term is Pacific Islander.
He's Samoan, girl.
This ain't no allegedly.
He's Samoan.
He's Samoan.
So that was fun. It was actually fun. Like, yeah, I know it might sound cliche or it may have a tinge of racism in it, but some of my best friends were Samoan.
You know what? Okay, since we're gonna go that route, and Ashley, you gotta tell me about this days at David Hasselhoff. Well, since we're gonna go that route, I will say this: I dated outside of my race, and she was Caucasian, and I will say that experience was surprisingly welcoming on the mother end, but very, 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 very angry on the father.
Oh, okay.
Very, 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 very.
Mama might like some
yeah, you know the moms.
Somebody say that sounds about white.
The day that it stopped was the day that I got, well, you're in high school, so you really don't know. But the day that I got threatened, that was a wrap after that.
Her daddy
how did he threaten you? How did that happen?
It was more of a because I was running track at the time. It was more of, and she was running track, so that's how we had met. It was more of a, if I see him again, this is what's going to happen to him. And you got to take yourself, as a ninth grader and a grown, super tall man.
Right.
That was a wrap.
Right.
Enough of that. Thank you very much.
But that's wrong. He shouldn't have. Okay. Whatever.
Hey, did TR just say ain't nothing changed from 1822 from 1822 to 2020?
Sir, you got something to say to my kids. Say it to their daddy.
I don't really see a big issue or anything like that with interracial dating. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a fan of it. I think I'm just indifferent. But I do think that there is a lot of conversations that I think you have to have with the generation behind us and the generations behind those generations that can make it hard for couples who are of today trying to get together and stay together because it's a lot of opinions.
Yeah, the opinions really don't matter to me, but that was definitely one of the things that I had to take into consideration raising African American males. Like, is that the picture that I want to put in front of them? So one of the reasons, not all of the reasons, but one of the reasons why I decided that I was not going to date interracial was because of them. Like, I'm raising African American males. It's hard enough to have them just live and exist in this world. And then you couple that with a different nationality trying to come in and be an influence and have stuff to say. It just didn't mix. And so it was a no for me very early on because I just didn't want that influence in my household, especially with, just I was a single mama too. So
would it matter if you didn't have kids?
I think if I didn't have kids, I probably would have experimented a lot. Okay. I'm just being honest.
I don't have children, and I think for me, I don't want to have to teach anybody my culture like that. And I'm open to learning about other cultures, but it's small things like me wearing a bonnet at night when I go to bed, or certain types of food that I eat and stuff like that I love about being Black that I don't have to explain to a Black man because he's a part of the culture too. That makes it hard for me to think about being with somebody outside of my race. Not to say I won't, but it's like I ain't about to teach. I ain't teaching nobody Black history all day long.
Because it's definitely gonna be a question. Well, why you do that? And what you do that for? And how y'all? Why y'all eat whatever watermelon and chicken? Like, I'm being honest. Like, why y'all eat watermelon?
Exactly.
I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, why y'all eat watermelon and chicken? Like, don't get tired of it.
Let me ask you this, TR. Is there a bias though? So if Portia is dating a Samoan and I'm dating a Caucasian, is there a bias on the interracial, or is it all around the same?
I think a lot of Black women have issue with Black men dating outside of their race, specifically because
regardless of color.
Regardless of color, because I think that if Black men date Asian, or a lot of people have things to say about Jeezy with being with Jeannie Mai. I think that has to do with the scarcity of Black men versus Black women. I think a lot of statistics show that Black men are incarcerated. There's a lot of issues that not me, of course, but a lot of Black women have with men being a part of the LGBTQ plus community. And I think it all channels back to this idea that there's not enough Black men to go around. And the Black men that circle out of their race and things like that, Black women take issue with it because it's like so many Black women are out here single, wanting relationships and the idea of Black love, and there's just not enough Black men out there.
Is there a separation portion?
In terms of
if it's interracial, let's like you, if it's interracial and Samoan or Asian or whatever, and then it's interracial and white, is there a separation between interracial, or is it on the same line? Is it on the same level? If it's interracial, somebody else, or interracial with white?
So white has deep roots, right? Because of where we came from. I don't know if it's a blanket answer, Romeo, but white definitely has some deeper roots in terms of our history, being lynched, Emmett Till. It just has this not so positive connotation to it. And then in terms of other women, I think we're like, for Black men, I don't want to say that they're the only race that really dates outside of their race as frequently as they do. But I do want to say it. And it's almost like, once again, that speaks to the fact that Black women are the most unprotected women on earth, people on earth, even when it comes to our black men, because if they're dating outside the race, they're still leaving us out there to be unprotected. So,
okay, that's a solid. Okay, that's a solid answer. That's a better answer.
Yourself, Romeo, continuing to date outside. You said that's a better one.
She said, hold on. What's
my answer was good. I think black women want to see more black men stay within our community.
Right.
You know, it's important, especially when we think about generations to come.
Yeah.
Would you consider dating outside of your race?
Of course.
Again?
Of course.
Would you settle down
about that though?
Would you settle down with someone outside of your race?
Yeah. I would.
What does your mom have to say about you dating and or potentially bringing her some mixed race kids?
I don't know that question, but you know what? I will ask her today and have that for you. My
kids are clear.
I look at stuff I look at stuff on an even plane. Like, you know, you like what you like, you love what you love. I take into account what you said about the past, what Portia said about representation and what needs to be seen. Now, how do I debate that between a feeling or my heart or whatever else is inside of me? Like, somebody used to say, what's the saying? There's someone for everybody on this earth, or there's something like that. There's someone for everybody. I don't know who that someone is. That's someone.
And you're open to who it could be.
Yeah, well, as long as it ain't no dudes. Yeah, Hispanic,
right?
Hispanic, you know, because I'm looking at people on. Is it true or not? Outside of, is it accepted? And I think that's where we get lost. Yes, building a black family first, building a black home first. Now I will give you this, Tiara. Those things are first, yes. But I'm not making an effort to date outside my race. But if it happens, I'm for it.
Yeah.
But I'm not making an effort. Just so you know, I'm not making. It's not a. I know some dudes, Portia, and it's their goal. Like that's their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's kind of weird to me. Yeah.
That's weird to me. But no, it's not my goal or thing. But some I've heard some black men say, and it freaked me out. I've heard some black men say, "Yeah, man, I only date so and so girls." Huh? What? Only?
Did you check them?
Huh? I was shocked. I didn't know how to check them. No, not the first time. The second time I did. And the second time I actually did, because you know this is so and so, and I'm like, why? First of all, why is she at homecoming? I don't get that. She damn sure didn't go none of this culture. You know, it's a trip. But I will say this though, Portia dating a Samoan, Portia would have been accepted. I really do believe this. Black women and black men would have looked past Portia because it wasn't a outstanding something they could see. But if it's white, you attack right off top. And that's why women be mad. And that's why black women be mad at all these athletes. All of them.
Right. Anyway, y'all, let's move on. We need to have a dating conversation. Maybe we, like Muslim said, we need to bring in some psychologists and some other people, but we definitely need to have a dating conversation amongst the generations, see what's going on with that.
Wind down. No, your wind downs. We should put Portia on the dating show, Tiara. We should do. You know what?
Yeah.
The Bachelorette wind down. Oh yeah, I'm about to.
Perhaps let's put it together. Perhaps.
Flyer for that. Yeah.
I don't know if it will be me. I'll be hosting though.
No, I need it to be you. I need somebody to try to spit you a line, and then you hit them with that Detroit stuff like, Boy, what you talking about? Nobody.
I'm real grown. Real grown. I just want y'all to know that. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, probably, man. If there was everyone dating different cultures that are dating, then I'll come on and you introduce me to
her mic here.
Oh Lord.
I'll do that for you, producer Ashley.
Hey, Ashley,
I don't think dating somebody like the Dominican. I think they're Afro-Latina, so that works.
They black.
They black to me. They just got dropped off on a different boat back in the day.
Iris Becker said black women are labeled to have bad attitudes and don't like to be told what to do. So that's why some of our black men run to other races.
That's why I said we have to figure out how are we defining submission.
Mm-hmm.
You right, Iris. Good saying, Iris.
Mm-hmm.
Tiara.
Yeah. Okay,
Tiara gonna be. Let's go.
We didn't beat this conversation into the ground, so
I'm just saying.
When a man is in a position to allow me to be submissive, I will yield to submission. That was Jody Peterson. All right. If the man is doing all the things, I think somebody described, she said he can run that. Remember?
Oh, I got a comment.
Okay.
Keep going.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, keep going.
That was it.
This is my first time looking at it. So it says, as a black man, I feel that it is more demoralizing to see black women dating a Caucasian man. So that was to your point, Romeo. To me, the separation is the fact that Caucasian people are non-melanin people. Asians, Latinos, West Indian, these are all people who possess melanin.
He said the black woman dating a Caucasian man?
They don't want to see... He said, as a black man, he doesn't want to see black women dating a Caucasian man. But he's saying kind of, well, not necessarily to your point, but you open up the conversation of melanated people. Yeah. Is there a separation? So they said that Asians, Latinos, West Indian, these are all people who possess melanin. So
it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Mm-hmm. They got melanin. Caucasians don't. Anyway. Okay. We started that conversation with The Rock. So congratulations to him. But congratulations to another highly melanated woman. If you guys don't know who this is, you guys have been sitting under a rock. But Melody Hobson is having a Princeton building named after her. The building was once named after President Woodrow Wilson. They are erecting a building for her and naming it after her. And so basically, in a nutshell, Princeton University is naming a residential college for alumni and major donor Melody Hobson. She's the first Black woman to have that honor in the school's history. Hobson College. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. Legacy, okay?
Yes.
Hobson College will be built on a site once named for former President Woodrow Wilson. The school announced last week. Princeton announced in June that it will remove Wilson's name from the School of Public and International Affairs and one of its residential colleges, citing his racist thinking in politics.
Oh, I was wondering why.
Wow.
Yeah. And so if you guys don't know who Hobson is, she's a successful businesswoman, former CBS News contributor. She was honored after making a generous donation to her alma mater, Princeton. She said she's proud to help erase Wilson's racist legacy.
That's what's
I
up.
think it's so interesting how, even presidents and people that have gone down in history were so racist, and now the fact that we get to dismantle and put Black people, Black women on a pedestal, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's good to witness.
It's just a light is definitely being shined on people from the past who have done some not so nice things. And some of them were our role models, some of them were our presidents. It's good to see a light being shined on some not so good deeds. But just a little bit more about Melody Hobson. She is actually the president and co-CEO of Ariel Investments. So that's financial industry. She is the former chairwoman of DreamWorks Animation,
Wow.
having stepped down after negotiating the acquisition of DreamWorks Animation (SKG) in August of 2016. She became the first African American woman to head the Economic Club of Chicago. She's also married to George Lucas. George Lucas is Star Wars, y'all.
Oh,
Mm.
yes.
Yeah. So that speaks to the conversation of, is it, you know,
Mm.
are Black women out there married to white men?
She good. She is good for life.
She good by herself though. Like she's not good.
Okay,
but
okay,
George
okay.
Lucas.
She's still doing her own
like,
thing.
back it
Period.
up. Calm it down.
Okay.
Okay. Because she is doing her thing.
She bring a table to the table.
She bring a table to the table. I like that.
She bring a table to the table.
Okay. So
I will say this though. I'm happy that happened and she's being honored in that way. To a point that Portia made earlier, that you made about how all of these statues and monuments and buildings are being demolished or taken down.
Take them down.
I have to go back to the statement that King James made. That I think he made the statement he didn't believe that they should be taken down or destroyed. He said they should be placed in a what you call them things, a museum or a building to make sure that the past there'll be a
memory of the past,
right? And people would be a museum. Thank you, Ashley. And he made that statement.
I mean,
what do y'all think?
I don't like that idea specifically because I think that we shouldn't continue to give them a platform. Period.
Remember the things that they did.
I think that you can still talk about history without having to not even necessarily sell tickets. I wouldn't want to go there for free. Because there's always going to be some type of group coming together to uplift whatever racist ideals and things like that. I don't even want to give them the opportunity to have that conversation.
Yeah,
we can't just.
I mean, we can't erase our past. We do have to remember it and remember where we came from. I mean, I said it out my mouth.
But a museum?
No.
Thank you, Portia. I mean, nowhere else to put it. We're not talking about. I mean, a warehouse. I don't know, but you can put it anywhere.
Underwater museum. I don't know, y'all. Anyway, so that was Melody Hobson. She's such an inspiration. Kudos to her.
Yeah,
I'm talking about legacy. That's what I'm talking about. Legacy, y'all. Legacy.
Hilarious.
We need to see more stories about, women like her, because I know there's so many different Black people that's out here doing it, and that needs to be amplified.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. Yeah.
Some dope Black women out here. That's why I said we run shit.
Period.
Who run the world? Okay, sorry. I ain't had no coffee yet, y'all. I couldn't find a coffee pot.
I can tell between wine and coffee, I don't even know what that's how I know. This is how I know Portia Monique. I know Portia Monique. There's two Portia Moniques I know. Wine Portia, coffee Portia. That's how
Mama Portia. Don't do that.
Who?
Mama Portia was in last night.
No, Mama Portia is attached to coffee.
Okay. Where else we going with the report?
Go. Who's next?
Let me tell y'all something. It's Monday morning.
Okay, let's come through.
Tracy Ellis Ross is giving us a little mother-daughter glam.
Diana.
So she is feeling a little nostalgic with these throwbacks of herself channeling her mom in this classic vintage Diana Ross, the boss type of photo shoot. So that's Tracy right there. The first one, of course, was her mom, Diana Ross. And then it's one more. No. It was one more. It was three of them. So let's see the next one. Yes, baby. Let me tell y'all something. I just wanted to bless y'all with this little touch of vintage glamour this morning to inspire y'all and let y'all know that timeless beauty is classic. Okay.
Yes, I love Diana Ross.
Diana.
And I like Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yes, yes. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. Tracy Ellis Ross was over there feeling nostalgic.
I did not know how.
Go ahead.
No,
I did not know how powerful she was.
Who? Diana Ross?
I haven't finished. Jesus
I'm not gonna. We're not gonna come at you, Romeo. Go ahead. We sorry. Go ahead. What you say?
So I didn't. They actually jumped in too. Thank you, Ashley. I did not know how powerful she was because I only her first remembrance to me was The Wiz, right? But then when I look back and Lady Sings the Blues, her
Mahogany.
Song, Mahogany, like in her time period, I did not know how powerful she was. Like she was technically Beyonce.
Yeah, she's like
in that time period. That's crazy to me.
You thought she wasn't?
But they don't speak of when you hear about Diana Ross.
She doesn't get her flowers. She doesn't even have a. They gave her like a Lifetime Achievement Award Grammy, but she never even won a real Grammy.
Thank you.
You know, like when you hear about her, you
hear about her music. Oh yeah, you know that, but you don't hear about her accolades at all. And I thought that was dope. I did my homework one day. She's fine.
Yeah, she's definitely a powerhouse. And Tracy Ellis Ross, I think she carries the torch very well.
She definitely would have been on. I definitely would have hollered at you guys.
But let me tell you who she wouldn't holler at. Diana Ross was the boss, okay? And she is another example of a woman going out and getting exactly what she wanted, like knowing what she wanted,
right,
going after it and getting it. And she's an example that a lot of us can learn from. Even though she was disliked a lot, she didn't give a damn.
She was.
She didn't give a damn. She still got what she wanted. She got her family, she got her kids, she got her career, and now she's sitting back, pretty
enjoying the fruits of her labor. Yeah,
all right, another legacy. So,
because at that point in time, it was literally her, Michael Jackson, Sidney Poitier, and shit.
That was Aretha.
Aretha was in the same time period as Diana Ross. I don't think Aretha was in the same time period.
I think then they grow up. They knew each other.
Who? I don't know.
Aretha Franklin.
I don't know if that was a rivalry or anything.
Yeah, I knew it was something like they were either. I don't know if they were friends, but they were in around the same era. I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah, Ashley be on it. Aretha's a little older.
I mean, that's Detroit. Like that's Detroit.
Right.
Like we know Detroit, even though I don't necessarily know.
Well, Detroit is always
that's Motown.
Detroit is
always Detroit is always angry. You got to be careful, Tiara. Detroit is always
angry.
I want to go to Detroit. I've never been.
Come on, girl.
You don't want to go.
You might not want to come in the wintertime. Listen,
oh no!
Ashley said, "Wait a minute."
All right, I'll catch y'all in June.
Yeah, summertime is a lot nicer.
Speaking of the Rosses, I just finished all the reruns of Girlfriends. Now I'm sad. I need a new Netflix show.
Girlfriends, yes, we can go both on the international water.
Yeah, Girlfriends. Woo! Going to the social.
Look, that is a classic. Okay, that was a big win for Black women when we got that on Netflix.
Shout out to Mara Brock-Akil. I interviewed her at ABFF too. Beautiful soul, and she's another inspiration. Killing the game. She's about to come out with another show.
Yeah.
She did that show Love Is. That show was the sugar honey
I
ice.
liked it. Yeah.
I'm mad that they stopped it. Love Is.
You didn't see that? You missed out?
He missed out.
I'm a dude.
You missed out.
Yeah, the show was it was loosely based on
Yeah.
her life and how she met her husband. But it was the best show on TV, and it got canceled after one season. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But she's writing again, and they're trying to figure out how they can wrap up Girlfriends because it just ended abruptly. So
Kelsey Grammer was a producer. I remember. Okay, now I remember. Okay, gotcha.
My girlfriends. Okay. Moving on to the social report.
We know what you was watching. One time. Back again, man. Like, shout out to LeBron James. The Los Angeles Lakers are the new champions of 2020. They beat the Miami Heat.
Doesn't count though. Like we in COVID. Does it even count though?
That BS, Portia. Don't start that.
Saying like doesn't even count.
It does. It counts.
It's almost like giving a participation award. Like he was there.
Don't do that.
He came every time. Like I don't know if that count because we ain't COVID.
Don't do that, Portia Monique.
Like it's almost like he might not be able to count that ring because he could say, "Oh, I got all of these championship rings, and then I won this one during COVID." You need a disclaimer. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
On top of that, he got the MVP, and he also provided Anthony Davis with his first NBA championship. So we definitely love that fact. And what's most important, the city of Los Angeles celebrated last night in front of Staples Center.
I saw some videos.
Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant. It was more. I think this championship was.
It was a celebration
than anything, and this real championship that was real in the bubble provided the fact that the NBA is still way above the freaking curve. They have had not one, ladies and gentlemen, not one person test positive for COVID in the past 6 months.
Wow.
Even after they went to the strip club.
Even after they went to the strip club.
Well, when he went, when old dude went, he couldn't come back, right?
He couldn't come back for 14 days, but he did. It was just a simple quarantine to get back in. He didn't test positive.
Okay.
So he
think
just
about
proved that you can go to the strip club and come back without COVID. Okay.
Or that we practice the right guidelines and social distancing and adhering to the COVID-19 guidelines works.
Look,
I'm sure he didn't have on a mask in the strip club.
Let's just say
I'm sure the girls didn't have on masks in the strip club either.
He didn't either.
You know what? They actually do have to wear
okay, that might be all they're wearing then. That's all they got on.
I'm a connoisseur of the culture. They wear masks.
So you've been.
Well, first of all, I went to study for rolling out purposes to make sure.
He was there for work.
I
can attest to that. He was there for work. Yeah.
So they do wear masks, and it is mandated. And the place that he went to was doing a voters registration poll in order to get in.
The Pank. Did he go to the Pank?
The Pank.
I forgot about the Pank. Oh, you got the Pank. I forgot about the Pank. Oh my God.
Shout out to Nico Annan. He's a Cass Tech alum. Detroit in the building. He plays Uncle Clifford.
Hey, Portia, I don't know if you noticed, Portia, but even on Twitter, they got your boy is still trending. They be telling people, "Oh, I think he got Little Murder vibes." It's a hashtag called Little Murder Vibes.
I'm crying.
That's a real thing.
I mean,
it's a real thing. We actually asked Nico, aka Uncle Clifford, about it, And he was like, that is more prevalent than you would believe, than you even want.
No, for real.
I said, somebody gonna have to pull that tape. Somebody run that tape back. But he was like, it's more prevalent than you would believe. And we actually interviewed them very early on into the season, so we had no idea what was to come. And I asked them the question about, what is the relationship with you with murder? Like, what is that, or Lil Murder? What does that look like? Where is it going for the rest of the season? And he just let us have it. He was like, let me tell y'all something. Because it's more real than y'all would even imagine to believe.
No.
In real life.
Let me give the wind down a pat on the back. Because I think we had Mercedes on, but the wind down actually had the cast.
Wind up. But yes.
Wind up, I'm sorry. But to Portia's point, knowing them before watching that season, I had no clue. Every single week, it was like right in your face, like, man, that's a great episode.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to come back.
Yeah, we can't wait either. They like friends of the brand now. Hey, Brandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna.
And then the guy who plays DJ Never Scared, he goes to Morehouse too. He's there now. He's a current student now. So.
Okay, good. We're gonna have to get
I'll call him up.
Diamond. We're gonna get Diamond. Hey Diamond, what's good? And we're also
let me ask you this, Portia. Is and because it's a part of one of my next social reports. Is that his Uncle Clifford? Is that his actual lifestyle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He's a member of the LGBTQ plus.
He's
community.
a member of the LGBTQ community.
Little Murder?
No. Uncle Clifford. That's who you asking about.
The one who plays Lil Murder, he actually has a.
Lil Murder is heterosexual. He spoke about this in a lot of his interviews.
He's heterosexual, yeah, and he has a son
and kids. Yeah.
Okay.
Straight with the family. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Interesting role.
He's a very great actor. He was very convincing. We had plenty of conversations about this behind the scenes, and he's very, 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 very convincing. That's the conclusion that we came up with.
Period.
Yes. So you should win an Oscar. Just saying. Anyway, where we going with the social report, Romeo?
Oh, next up, oh my God, push off my choke. I thought it was cute. I thought it was kind of cute. Jane Fonda, in a recent interview, says on her famous sex life, she regrets not having sex with Marvin Gaye. She could have had the opportunity, but she was married at that point in time. But she says that is one of her lifetime sex regrets of not doing. Get it in. That's what I'm talking about, Jane.
I like Jane Fonda. I think she's a great supporter of us over on this side in the Black community. And in terms of interracial relationships, I'm all for her getting some sexual healing.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: is she still married to the husband that she was married to back then?
No, not at that point.
That's probably why it's one of her regrets.
I could see that being a regret for her then. Yeah, she probably was on her Keisha Cole. I should have lied. I should have cheated.
That was one of the entanglements she wished she could have had.
Yeah, she said I should have lied and I should have cheated because he did. 9 times out of 10. And then ask for forgiveness. You just be like, Jesus, little baby Jesus, I'm sorry. Please don't bring it back on me hard. I know karma is real.
Oh, yeah. Oh man. Last but not least, because there's more. Now this is controversial.
Okay.
I'm hoping we can pull up the trailer.
Oh.
So Disney Plus So this past weekend was National Coming Out Day. Disney Plus just announced that they have a new cartoon about a man who comes out to his parents. Now, the two images you see are the two men that are in a relationship, and the white cartoon character is coming out to his parents. Now, this is supposed to be a cartoon on Disney Plus, and social media lit the fuck all the way up. It was a 50-50. I can't even say it was 50-50, but there were supporters of the cartoon saying that it's about time. And then majority was like, how and why are we introducing this to a demographic of 1 to 5 year olds? This is Disney.
I think parents forget that they have control, especially parents of very, very, very young kids. I think they forget that they have control over what their kid watch.
Thank you.
Over what their children watches on TV, on the internet, on the phone, on the tablet, or whatever. You, sir, and or ma'am, are fully in control of what your kid is watching. So whatever Disney puts out is on Disney. That's fine. You cannot watch it. You can block it. You cannot subscribe. You have control over that.
I always wonder about. I'm glad you said that, because that blows me away when people be like, I don't know if my kids can watch it. You can unsubscribe.
You cannot have the TV on in the house. You are in full control of that, especially up until 5, and then depending if they go to public school or private school. I should let my kids go to private school, because they sit up here talking about they don't want a damn vote anyway. But depending on the age, you have control over that. I think that for me, I think that kids are so innocent too. It's not like kids, unless you're making it seem like being a member or an ally of someone of the LGBTQ plus community is a bad thing, then I honestly don't see the problem that a lot of people are making with it. I mean, growing up, there's always been Cinderella and the Prince, there's the Little Mermaid and the Prince, there's all this. So it's like we've introduced kids to the idea of dating and relationships at a very, very young age. Disney has done that consistently, ever since its inception. Mickey and Minnie go together. I think that the issue parents are taking now is, do they want their kids to know about, dating, homosexual dating and things of that nature? So I think that that's the bigger conversation we have to have is there an issue with homosexual dating and the idea around that, and are people wanting to allow their kids to see that, or is there a problem with seeing relationships in general? Yeah, what do y'all
Actually
think?
play something.
Yeah, play the trailer. And Facebook, y'all chime in too. What do y'all think? Is it wrong for Disney? Is it okay? What y'all think?
Look them in the eyes and say, Mom, Dad, I'm... Happy moving day! Honey? Dad? Now what are you getting into?
So here's the thing. I agree with both of y'all. I think people are still taking Disney for what it was in 1820. It's supposed to be family. It's supposed to be, like you said, fairy tales, and Disney is supposed to be fairy tales and dreams, not supposed to be real life. I want you to think about that for a second. To some people, Disney is not supposed to be real life situations. That's television. That's TV shows. That's valid, right? So when you turn on Disney, you expect to see pigs that can fly and dogs that can talk. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to get a fantasy. Disney is creating real life scenarios now for kids, and I think that's the problem.
And Kim Taylor on Facebook is chiming in, and she said Disney is really stepping out of their viewer comfort zone. Wow. In that, I just hope that they deal with all the conversations of today that we should be having equally across the board.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I think that when we think about fantasy, are we only thinking fantasy to be heterosexual type of fantasy, or are we allowing young kids to dream and fantasize about different things?
Yeah.
Mm,
I mean, okay, so one of the things. It's reality, right? So there are some kids that need assistance and or help and or advice on coming out. Like what resources do they go to?
Right.
Like if they feel like they are another gender, where do they turn?
Mm-hmm.
What do they do? Like, so Disney may just be giving an outlet to these kids that feel like they don't have anyone to turn and or talk to.
Right. Right.
okay, I'm riding with you. I'm still with you.
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
I do think, a lot of things are changing. A lot of things are becoming a little bit more progressive in terms of the way people acknowledge, and I don't want to say allow, but just in terms of acknowledging people for their differences, and accepting people's differences. And I think that for kids, just because I was to see something like that, that doesn't make me want to go out and become gay. I think that it opens up a conversation, but I do think that everybody makes a choice in what they want to be. And I think that Disney is doing a good job by not demonizing kids for being different. But at the
Mhm.
same time, that doesn't necessarily mean that by putting this out there, I think a lot of parents think that if they put this out there and my kid watches it, then my kid's now this. And I don't necessarily think that's the case.
I like Portia said, turn your TV off.
You, sir, and or ma'am, are in full control of a newborn to a 5-year old and what the images are that they see. They're with
Right.
you. They not in
Mm-hmm.
school until 5. They're with you. So don't
Mm-hmm.
just blindly turn the TV on or leave it on. You might be surprised, boo.
Right.
Sesame Street does
Right.
have a is it a transgender character? I
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
know
And there was a lot of backlash about
Oh,
that as well.
yo,
I
Portia,
applaud Sesame Street for that. My babies grew up on Sesame Street. Okay.
did you watch it? I actually I wanted to see. I actually watched the character. Whoa,
I didn't watch it. Bert and Ernie
whoa.
are gay too.
Yeah, there's always been a
How
historic
old were
belief
you when
that
you
Bert and
found
Ernie were
out that
gay.
Bert and Ernie were gay? I was today years old.
Today,
They
today,
have a thing about them being roommates and not brothers. So
I don't know. We got to research that. Bert and Ernie
today.
might not be gay. They might have just been brothers.
they're
Wow.
partners.
Ah,
But again, I think I want to see, what parents are thinking, even when they go to turn the TV off and they don't want their kids to see it. My question is why.
Yeah.
well. You know what? Parents do that themselves though, Tiara, because little kid goes to the store. He's Walmart, Target. He's in the toy store or whatever like that. If that little boy reaches for any toy that is not considered a boy toy, his mother or father stops him automatically.
Right.
Mm.
So
And it's
that
like, why?
nigga
Why? I think that has to do with the psychological thing again that we talked about, things being passed down generation. Even our guest last week, who kind of talked about his experience of being called a sissy at 5 years old and how that stuck with him for so many years. I think we do have to have a more expansive conversation just about what are we demonizing and why do we have to attach gender identity to sexual identity? Is it it's the experience is not as monolithic. There's a lot of fluid things that you can be when it comes to how you identify out here in the world. And getting to know yourself first. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have parents telling you what you are before you even get the chance to even know what any of this means. You might really just like Barbie, but you don't know that means you gay.
Look at
You're
that
poor.
Spellman coming out. Look at that Spellman coming out. That's what I'm talking about, TR. Look at that. Education.
Don't get me started.
No, I fully agree though. Hey, Mustard
Nah,
Seed.
good
We missed
boy.
What's up,
you.
everybody?
What's up?
Welcome back.
Shout out to everybody on Facebook, man. We appreciate everybody checking in, man. Kim, Iris, Tony, Jody, everybody. We see y'all, man. I see y'all back. But nah, that's actually a good topic to add to the day. On top of the submission topic, you know, what are the rules and regulations that you feel a Disney should have? I mean, like Portia said, you control your
Turn
remote.
the TV off, sir and or ma'am. Turn it off. Change the channel. Get you some little. When my baby was coming up, it was Little Einsteins. Get you some Little Einsteins. Get you some Sesame Street. Get you
some Little Professor Skies.
Little
Get you
Professor
some
Sky.
some
Some
Adam
Smart.
Smarts. You know, seem like you show a book right now, Portia.
I don't have
you
none
know,
on my desk.
yeah, well, they're out at the.
Let me see. I got
store.
one on the I got one on my desktop.
But I think we just got to make sure that our dialogue is, you know, what also is Black owned. Like we've got to have and control our own conversation of how our kids see ourselves. Yeah.
Little Professor Sky. Little Professor Sky.
Yeah, but we've got to control how we also see ourselves and have our own narrative. So let's not be dependent on them to define how our children perceive anything.
Listen, that hit me like a ton of bricks when I had to really ask the question, who raised y'all? For real, because it wasn't us.
Right.
Lord Jesus.
Yeah. So I think that's the dialogue. How do you keep culture, but how do you keep community as a real conversation, race as a real conversation moving forward? And I think clearly as we go to having a book of the day, what are parents sharing or reading to their children that make a difference in their lives? So probably as we integrate authors into the show, it'll bring that conversation.
Now, I will say this to TR's point. Now, if they are going to make that narrative, TR, then right after that, I want to see all the narratives. I want to see police brutality. I want to see Black Lives Matter. I want to see, like, if they're really going to go that route. Now, because to me, it's like, if you're going to go and cover the whole board, I'm with you. But if that's going to be the narrative, I can't ride with you.
What do you mean that's going to be the narrative? What's the narrative?
If that's going to be the only topic they touch. If you're not going to touch all the topics that's going on.
I mean, I think that's true, but I think that when you talk about police brutality and things of that nature, I think that the racial conversation is a little bit different from the relationships conversation.
No.
You don't think so? I mean,
if you're building a cartoon and you're showing it to the world about the difference between, you know, a person's choice, then there's nothing stopping you from building that same cartoon about a black man. There's nothing stopping you.
I agree. I think to Munson's point, it's about having Black writers and Black people in the room to be able to have these type of conversations. So if Disney or whatever brand is going to unpack that, then they need to make sure that they have well-equipped people, especially Black writers in the rooms, able to push forward with these conversations. And in the same way that they need to have the proper display or the proper representation of members of the LGBTQ plus community.
And I'm not against that. I just want ABC to have a show, full-time hour show on a genius Black girl and boy. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not even gonna get caught on one show when I need a whole show about the genius little Black boy that is very smart. So I don't want to get caught on what that gender is versus telling my young children that they're brilliant. I don't want Taraji's movie to be the only moment. I need a full-time show that showcases intelligent, genius Black children. I'm not getting ready to get caught on whether it's orientation conversation. It's the absence of a Black genius show with a child genius, a child prodigy, a Black debate team full-time winning against Ivy League schools as a full-time show. I don't want to get caught up in the orientation game. You see, I'm doing Portia today.
I didn't see. I'm looking for Adam Smart,
But
y'all.
for me, that's the conversation that I want to make sure that we're having as a community, that we talking about. Are they showing enough genius? Are they showing enough tech kids? When we think about it, are they the leads being technical intelligence? Are we showcasing enough reading with Blacks leading that conversation? You know, I don't want to get caught on agendas that are not ours. Greatness is ours. Expecting excellence is ours. I don't want to get conversations, and we have the issue of picking up conversations. We know we want to grow our culture, but grow our community, and then have the continuity in our culture about our loving ourselves.
Right. And that's why they got to be.
Yeah, and I think you know, to your point though, I think it both goes hand in hand. I think that as people know themselves more, and as people feel good about who they are, however they choose to come out to the world, that also helps in their greatness. You know what I'm saying? I think that as we display the variety in how different Black people can be, that also helps people live out their true destiny.
And the removal of abuse, because you've got a whole lot of issues that are institutional racism. And institutional racism also controls many of the images that we see of ourselves and the stories that aren't told. So I think the conversation is, those are cool, let's move on, because we still need that full-time. So when we had Dennis the Menace, he had his whole show.
Raising Dion, that's a really, good show that I love to watch. It's about a young Black kid who is smart. He has powers. There's a whole bunch of math and science behind it. They do a great job with that show as well.
Let's look at Adam Smart, because that sounds similar to Adam Smart, Munson. You might need to check to make sure that they ain't steal your idea from Adam Smart. So Adam Smart, this is another creation from Munson Steed, publisher Munson Steed. So tell us about Adam Smart. We need to start telling our own stories, our own narrative.
And I think even for holiday, thanks, Portia. I think for holiday, we'll probably bring on at least one author who is telling our story so that we can have that conversation. It is about us preparing and keeping our narrative. Adam Smart obviously is on playfulgenius.co. So you can go to playfulgenius.co and see it. But I think what's important for our community is to make sure that we are definitely not seen without our children being able to look and see it, their genius. Because I thought you talk about extending a story. What was it, Invisible Numbers? I always get that movie title wrong, Romeo.
You don't want Taraji's movie?
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures.
I gave it to you as a layup. All you had to do is come with, I gave it to you.
Invisible Numbers, Lord.
Invisible Numbers. Hidden Figures.
I mean, that was a lead, and then I had to get my own lead since you didn't have it.
I got it,
man. Yeah. But I think that was something that you could build off as an extended story. Where are the other hidden figures who, having a dialogue where there's a secret scientific thing and we're saving the world, because we often are saving the world. But it's also time for us to save ourselves. And that's why the dialogue about us being great is so important. And that, we're moving ourselves forward.
Yes.
And I think you should have Portia, the writer and creator of Lovecraft, on.
We were talking about that last night.
Yes.
On my show.
I'm this close. I'm 2 steps close to Journey and the actual director. I'm about 2 steps
so
close.
Romeo,
and the creator.
You're not.
Bring them on my show too, Romeo. Don't be just.
Well, I'm hijacking the show then, Portia.
You can come on.
I don't understand why she didn't like you.
I love Lovecraft. I was watching Lovecraft
First of all,
last night.
There's only 2 people. There's only 2 people on the show that watch the show. Number 1. It's me and Munson.
Oh no, I do watch.
What show? Lovecraft? I watch every episode of Lovecraft. Don't play me.
It's 8 episodes. I need to catch up.
Oh, then Portia, you out the conversation. If you missed
last night,
let me tell you how powerful last night and last week episode was. I am so glued to my television. It's giving me sci-fi that I love. It's giving me culture. It's giving me culture. It's giving me education. Like I'm literally watching
the music, you know.
Never watched a show with the intent to learn. Because you know, majority of the time you watch it for entertainment. My intent every show, Munson, is to learn because I'm blown away every time.
And it's a twofer because you got to go back and look at it again because you missed a lot of things. So it's a twofer. I got to catch it back, look, really review. And then the chat on social, just the individuals that are out there, they are really into post conversation after the show. Did you see? Having a conversation. Here are the tidbits. Go back and watch. So catching up for all those who are there. But it also shows Black power, which is the continued conversation that we can't be allergic to. We can't get sedentary on how we look at what it is. And we can't say culture without community. If culture don't come with a benefit for the community, that's not our culture. And that's just got to be the standard. If culture don't come with community, then it's not culture. We need to really begin to eradicate things that decimate how we really empower ourselves. And not be afraid to say the word Black power.
For real. Yeah.
James Brown, that was a James Brown moment for you, singer over there from Detroit.
I'm Black and I'm proud. I'm Black and I'm proud. See, I heard it in my head. It just didn't translate. It transferred to the mouth. Yeah, I got you.
Portia, you need to catch up now. But me,
yes, you do need to catch up.
I will. You know what? I'm gonna catch up today. I was binge watching some stuff on over the Netflix over the weekend on Netflix. But I'm a binge watch Love.
Well, me and Munson and Tiara will tell you, episodes 4 and 5, you just got to endure it. Just endure it. Get past 4 and 5. After that, you'll be right on track. But 4 and 5 are kind of
that's where I'm at.
Out there.
4. I'm on 4. So
I love the amount of conversations that are had within each episode. It's conversations about relationships with your family and some of the family secrets that get passed down generations. I don't want to spoil it if anybody hasn't seen it.
Joy Dawson on Facebook said, don't say too much because she didn't watch.
I'm not going to spoil it, but family relationships, the ways that they try to erase our history.
Homosexuality.
Homosexuality, especially as it relates to the 60s and things of that time and how people were thinking back then and how that continues to translate now.
Black love.
What you will sacrifice for family. The relationships that we have with white people and how a lot of us are connected or even related to white people and what that means,
The episode where people talk about, and we just giving y'all touch
Don't
points.
give it away.
What's it? No, I'm going back. What's it like to be the episode where she was like, "What's it like to be a white woman?" That
right. And the idea of actually stepping out into the world and experiencing what it means to have white privilege in the smallest of ways.
The beauty of it is, on that note, is hopefully white people are taking away a conversation and seeing how their privilege is destructive, seeing how abusive what they think is a cute behavior is a very detrimental effect to society. Because when we aren't producing, it just creates a whole scourge for humanity. We just got to really check what that is. So I love that we're loving something, but I hope that those people that are watching don't eradicate themselves and say, embrace the caste system, embrace racism. If anything else, it's a teachable moment for you to understand that ain't cute.
So I love the way that they're genius, the way they put it all together and serve it on a platter like that.
Very, very good. And one thing I don't want people to miss that they probably missed from like the first episode, the white narrative of the white narrative of I'm the creator of the world, trying to find their origin. The white narrative of them trying to find their origin as the creators of the world, but you got to go through it, but it's filtered through a black man. Like, it's just great dynamics. It's just super great dynamics. I love it, man.
So if y'all just tuned in, we're talking about Lovecraft Country, something that I am going to binge watch today.
I'm gonna call Journey.
So good.
I
So
think
that
you
I
need
can
to binge watch on Peace and Purpose and get ready for that conference. That's what you need to binge on.
Oh, is that what I need to do?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna binge watch Lovecraft Country today.
Please, you gotta catch up.
No,
I want to be able to join the conversation. I can only talk about the first couple episodes.
you got a whole Friday to catch up on Sunday. It's only an hour, so you can do that Friday.
Right.
Really
Not
good.
the people that need.
I think it's only like 2 episodes left, right?
One.
Oh no, man!
Is it one? How many? So it's 8 episodes, right?
So last night was 7.
Yeah, 7. Series finale is next week.
Y'all need to get y'all some
No,
friends
don't say
because we got
season,
we
right?
got
Or it's
screeners over here. We got screeners over here. Y'all need to get y'all some friends.
They got renewed for season 2.
Y'all funny.
Shout out to Iris. Hey, Iris. Hey, Joy Dawson. Femi Swint. Great show. Keep up the good work. Appreciate
What's up,
it.
Femi Flint?
Portia just jumped in. What's up, Femi Swint?
What's up,
Always.
Femi Flint?
Good morning.
Always.
Good morning.
Always.
That's your partner, man. Hey, it's
that.
Monday. It's Monday. I gotta come back and vote. Everybody who has the opportunity to go vote today, make sure you get out to the polls for your early voting. If you need to go early vote.
I want y'all to see this. This is my message. Vote, 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 vote.
Go vote.
Get your vote necklace, but make sure you get out and early vote. And like I keep telling you guys all the time, make sure that you are safe. Do not allow anyone to walk up on you, intimidate you, or persuade you otherwise.
Don't hit first though, because you're gonna be charged. You might take your ass to jail. Y'all.
Okay, don't hit first.
Don't hit first. Don't hit first. That's a hard learned lesson. Anyway, y'all, it's Monday. What we doing? Let's set our week off straight. Let's set our week off right. What we reading this week?
I'm still on the 4 Agreements. That's my book right now.
So what's the one key takeaway that you learned from the 4 Agreements, Tiara? First off, tell everybody what the 4 Agreements are, and then tell us what the one key thing that you have taken away thus far.
Well, for where I'm at, I'm still really at the beginning of the book. My contact is all over the place this morning. My bad. But to me, the book is basically about finding purpose in life that has nothing to do with what the world and society wants you to be. It has to do with you kind of working your own magic in your own way and finding your purpose and your destiny through self-reflection, self-actualization. So that's been my key takeaway thus far, is just about how can I learn the most about myself so I could present my best self to the world. And I encourage everybody to do that. It's okay to take the time to reflect and dig a little bit deeper. It might be a little bit time consuming. It might be hurt to uncover the parts of yourself that you might be hiding from the world. But I think that it's very, it's very life-changing for me to kind of just think about how I see myself and what I want to give back to the world.
All right. So, what are the 4 agreements? I'm about to tell y'all in a second.
Okay, so here's the other thing. Why don't we ask our audience what Black authors and what did they read to learn about themselves during the pandemic? I mean, I like the 4 agreements, but I want us to really be studying in the pandemic, in this uprising, about ourselves. So we're going to go to it tomorrow. But if the audience would let us know, who are you reading? What are you reading? What are you learning about ourselves? There's some great books out.
Yeah, man. Great books. And I like that. Yep, there are some great books.
Oh, he gone. So there are some great books. I just wanted to touch on the 4 agreements real quick.
We know that you always want to touch on. He's not gone. So, the other thing is having a library, Portia, and you think about having a library, Portia, and having access that you can actually. So I wasn't gone, even though your mouth was moving. idea of black bottom saints. Black bottom saints. You know.
So what's that book about, Munson?
Well, I want you to know. We'll talk about it tomorrow. You should contact Alice Randall. But it's something, and it's a wonderful novel. But I want us to think about it.
So is it fiction or is it?
It's a novel. So you tell us. What do you think?
It's nonfiction.
Okay, all right. So just help us out. But
a novel is fiction. It's not nonfiction.
Okay, so when you make up your mind and figure out where you're going to you said both answers, which means there's not an answer. Just so that you know, you said both.
I cleared it up.
There's no clarity now because you said both. I mean, they just talked about the fact you might need your sister Miss Berry to help you out on that note. Tell you which one it is.
A novel is fiction.
Anyhow, so
y'all. So I wanted to do. I'm sorry, Munson. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I've heard it all morning. It's it's okay.
Thank you. So I want to do a history, voter history segment on the show coming up until Election Day, and I want to start off with Fannie Lou Hamer.
Love her.
Love her. So on October 6th, so we are a little off from this day in history, but on October 6th in 1917, Fannie Hamer was born in the Black Belt of Mississippi. She was a fearless grassroots organizer whose voice helped bring much needed attention to the disenfranchisement of Black people. Have you ever heard your grandmother utter, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired"? Well, that was Fannie Hamer. So moving on, many believe that these words were first spoken by Fannie, iconic civil rights activist, during 1964 speech at the Williams Institutional CME Church in Harlem, New York, alongside Malcolm X. Hamer was detailing her 1962 trip to Indianola, heard of that, Indianola, to register to vote. So she was out on the front lines very early, making sure that she was pushing the agenda to get Black people to vote. She explained the experience with the crowd, including the literacy test, voter registration form, the bus trip. She also detailed her experience returning from a voter.
Yeah, the gringos sent him over.
What?
Good. What's happening?
Is somebody gonna mute him?
I don't know. What's the question on the conversation we're having?
I've seen it all.
I was all into the knowledge TR.
It's the history for me. Can we get back to the history? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Say it, Tiara. I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. Ooh, child. Okay.
Exhausted for me.
Okay. So she was. Okay. Where was I?
To Portia's point. I do remember a scene. I think it was Selma. I did not know, and it was Selma, and the young lady was going to vote. And the person read off all these rules and requirements. Do you know your state senators? Do you know the 30 people
ridiculous
of the Senate?
Questions. Yeah.
Do you remember that
These
scene?
Black people were knowing. They were knowing it too. That's the gag. Like, we really were knowledgeable and are still knowledgeable about our history. So it's like the more they throw at us, the smarter we got. They built our resilience.
That scene was so epic because I was sitting up here like, you clearly just asked 50 questions that don't got to do nothing with voting.
Exactly.
Just to see if they are eligible to vote.
No, just to suppress the vote and make them scared to vote and not stand their ground and stay there and actually vote. We had a couple other slides.
Yeah, but if you're gonna do that, you got to talk about where people can go actually to test and see if you're still registered, because there have been a lot of people purged intentionally.
Yeah.
So
yeah, voter.org is where you can go to
make sure you're registered. I check mine daily.
And see if they've moved your poll, because that's a common practice. Let's move the poll. But early voting in person is recommended.
Yep.
Yeah. So just closing the loop on Fannie Lou Hamer. I know we're about to get into positive thoughts. She was an activist back in the day. She was chased out of a restaurant by police. She can we pull that back up so that we can see her mugshot? I don't know if this is a mugshot or not. The scene led to multiple arrests, and once in jail, brutal beatings ensued. This is the photo I was talking about. Thank you, producer Ashley. The abuse she endured left her with permanent kidney, leg, and eye damage. Despite the severity of the event, Hamer still went on to help establish the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. In 1964 at the Democratic National Convention. She channeled all of her suffering into a speech that stirred the nation. She called out the systemic racism in America that strips Black people of their human and civil rights, and people listened. Her voice enlivened the country, and widespread attention was given to Black disenfranchisement, led to the Voting Acts Right of 1965.
Wow.
So very instrumental. Let's remember Fannie Lou Hamer, sick and tired of being sick and tired, pushing the vote. She fought, she died for our rights.
It really hurts my heart. And when I hear those stories, or I hear stories of the past, and then you hear these people, my vote doesn't matter. I'm not going to vote. I'm not doing this, and I'm not. And even if I take Fannie Mae out the pocket, I have to think about my personal. I know for a fact my personal ancestors. Somebody was out there. Somebody was out there. Somebody got beaten. Somebody got pushed aside. So when I hear about those stories and I think about today, man, let me tell you something. Can't nothing stop. Let me tell you right now. I keep telling y'all every single week. If you in my crew, if you Team Romeo, you vote. If you're not voting, just take Team Romeo out your bio and you can ride on. Nobody got time for this extra stuff in 2020. So thank you for that information, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So we're gonna bring y'all tidbits of voter history and some of the people that were very instrumental in making sure that we, our generation, have the right to vote. So
yeah, very important.
Remember Fannie Lou Hamer. Sick and tired of being sick and tired, Mustard Steve.
Just tired. TIDE. Tired.
Positive thoughts of the day.
Positive thoughts of the day. Y'all want me to kick it off?
Kick it off.
So, like Fannie Lou Hamer, people do not decide to become extraordinary. They decide to accomplish extraordinary things. Shout out to Fannie Lou Hamer for achieving extraordinary things, accomplishing extraordinary things. I'm passing the ball to Tiara.
The other day was World Mental Health Day. So I just want to encourage everybody to be kind. It's Monday. There's a lot going on in the world. So be kind to others. You never know what somebody's dealing with. And I'm going to pass it on over to Romeo.
So this is my new thing. Find a goal, set a goal. New Romeo International. Set a different goal every week. Reach that goal every week. Challenge yourself every day to reach a certain goal every single week. We know the world ain't changing right now. We know everything's upside down. So motivate yourself to be better than yourself. And I pass it on to Mr. Steve.
Thanks so much, Romeo. We've got a long road ahead. So in pivoting and sharing, set goals, but set milestones. Because every goal is not achievable in a day or a week or even a year. You know, we've been at this a long time as a community thinking about voting. Some people still thinking about it. But I think the beauty of Romeo saying set some goals is, as a community, let's realign and set some new goals for ourselves. Some new distinctions of what culture is. It really means the whole community came with you. Not excited about just the billionaires, but bringing the billions of African Americans, Africans around the world collectively together so that we see ourselves as a community and not as so many individual idealistic ideas that literally sabotage the success of the whole. Let's think of the whole. Your non-voting affects the whole. So vote. Let's move out of our selfishness and our increased materialistic ideas, because that doesn't unify our community. The unification of our community has to be our objective and goal. Let's measure our behavior and know that we are great. And thank God for those who came before us so that they can at least depict who and what our community means versus culture. Their focus wasn't on culture, y'all. Being great was an expectation, just like going to an HBC or APWI and knowing that you have to perform at a great level. Whatever it is, you're still a part of our community no matter where you go. So it is community, not just culture, that matters. I'm Untitled Steve. This is Portia Monique, Romeo International, and of course, Tierra Berry. We are Wake Up Call, Rolling Out AM, and we wish you all, those going through, it's still Breast Cancer Month. Send you our prayers, love, and definitely get a mammogram and any other gram that you need. And it's always Mental Health Day for an oppressed people. Peace.
Yeah. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.